Hi guys, welcome to your 5 minutes of self-care. This week, I like to cover a couple of topics. Last week, we had the Women's Day. Yes, female empowerment and all about women. Okay, I'm going to demystify this one too. And I think I am going to definitely step on someone's toes here. Number one, I'm a woman, so I think I can speak for myself now. And whatever I say, this is just only my personal opinion and view. So please, take it with a pinch of salt. Women's Day. Why the heck do we have a Women's Day? Because we need to be reminded that we women exist and we need to set our boundaries and we are actually out there. So what do I think about this? And Rhea and I, Rhea, the female founder of Yachting International Radio, we had very often this conversation. Number one thing, we women have put ourselves in that position that we think we need to compete with men. And that is, in my eyes, absolutely utter BS. Because we women have so many gifts within ourselves. Our yin energy, our divine feminine energy, when really honed as a craftsmanship and really has been established, developed, without being conditioned and programmed to be distorted, young style or masculine, then we are really, really powerful beings. We are not more powerful than anyone else. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying to you, women empowerment is about bringing that power back within and really nourishing and honoring our natural yin energy, our natural way of being, without having this urge to prove ourselves, to control, to fight, to be someone or to not be someone. At the end of the day, to be not authentic and not honest to ourselves, to just be liked by other people and by society. From my own experience, 27 years in public and private equity, meaning working in business, and also have worked in the spiritual community as a yoga teacher, as an alchemy healer, I can only say one thing. I have learned very much and been conditioned from the beginning when I started dancing ballet with 3 years old and being in a Russian ballet academy. I have learned to be competitive. I have been programmed to be tough. I have been programmed to not cry. I have been programmed to not feel emotions. I have been programmed to stuck it up, to not say anything, to not use my voice. I have been programmed that it was normal to have pain every single day, to not be able to walk, to not be able to cry in front of people, to not be able to eat what I wanted, to not be able to be who I wanted. And this has nothing to do with my parents. My parents supported me. So I actually chose to become a ballet dancer. So through this programming and this conditioning, I took this on board also when I studied business, when I worked in business in various different industries, including the yachting industry. And I worked predominantly in masculine reinforced businesses. If this was oil and gas in Australia, if this was extreme sports, snowboarding, skating, surfing for Billabong, if this was American Express and finances, if this was pharmaceuticals. So I worked in a male-dominant industry. And I continued the really unhealthy pattern to have to prove myself every single day and not be able to shine my feminine energy. And that one that is really actually my superpower, my intuition, and allowing things to unfold. And I actually adopted more of a young style masculine energy. Now, why am I saying this? Because I had a great conversation last week at the Impact Forum here in Monaco. And it was about investments that have impact on the social and the environmental sphere in our world. And that was something really important because that's where I work in impact-driven investments. And I spoke to an Indian gentleman, and I am a yoga therapist for 14 years and studied the philosophy of yoga with all the ancient scriptures for many, many years, and I continue to study. And he said to me, Happy Women's Day. And I said, yeah, you know what? That day is every single day, and we need to just honor our own femininity. And he looked at me, you're right. And I said, yes. What are we doing? Trying to pretend to be guys. We're not guys. We're not men. It's okay to be not a guy. It's okay that we are physically maybe weaker. Yet again, we have our strengths in other ways. It's okay to be you and to be raw and to set your boundaries as a woman, to be able to walk away, to also say no. But we have been conditioned so much that we need to fight for our rights. That is utter BS because we allow ourselves to be put in that position. We enable it. I am not saying that there is not a massive amount of injustice being done, especially in developing countries. I worked in Tanzania and Cameroon. I know exactly how women have been treated there too. I have had many patients have gone through rapes, through violence, physical abuse. I experienced physical abuse on myself. Yes, there is no doubt about that. And we do all have our karmic journey. All the lessons that we have already made up before we came into this life. And we have to go through them and learn out of them. So what I learned out of this, with all my lessons I've had, and also very good moments, is to sit in your femininity, to let go of control. And believe me, it's not easy for me to let go of control. I have to remind myself every single day. So don't think that I've got this here totally mastered. I don't. And that's okay, because I'm also just work in progress. We are not perfect. Women out there, ladies, sit in your femininity. No manipulating. No, not controlling. No ulterior motives behind people's backs. Be honest, true to yourself. There's a reason why there are great female CEOs, and just Citibank has a really great female CEO. There's a reason why there's a wealth shift out there, where the generation of wealth happens now, the transfer shift between generation, the next gen, the old generation to the next gen. And this is really important for the yachting industry also, to understand, do not underestimate the wealth of women out there. And I'm not talking about that money is important, but yes, money allows us, when to be used wisely, that we have a certain amount of freedom and can actually live the life that we would like to have. I'm just not talking about a Louis Vuitton handbag, nor do I talk about any enhancements on faces or anything. I'm talking about redefining the luxury lifestyle, or just a comfortable life that you can create. So there's a wealth shift. Yes, yachting industry, listen to this. Just because I'm a self-care on board podcast doesn't mean that I don't understand finances. Yes, I do understand finances. Do not underestimate the power of women, the purchasing power of women, also buying boats. Do not underestimate the discernment that women have, looking more into sustainability, environmental friendly businesses, environmentally friendly projects, holistic projects, supporting mental, emotional health and well-being. Women supporting each other, something really important, because many times I have also experienced that women stab each other in the back instead of actually supporting each other. This is getting better and better. And if you have lived and worked in so many different countries and worked in different industries, I tell you right now, from the spiritual community to the pharmaceutical community, there is no difference. No difference at all. That communities, they all have the same flaws, the same problems, the same power struggles, the same egos, the same dynamic. There is no difference. And I can tell that with really long-term history and experience for the last 27 years, embracing both worlds for the last 27 years. So women, ladies, just relax, release all this control. If a door closes, do not try to run against it and bang your head against the wall, especially now. Another topic for this week, the full moon eclipse season. Anyone, anything, any situationship, any relationship, any job, anything that wants to exit your life, let it. Let it exit. Let them. Let them exit your life. Allow just to let it be. So no more holding on, no more trying to fight for someone, for a job, for a situationship, for a relationship. Let it go. And this is the superpower of women, the intuitive power to know, step back, walk out. You've done enough. It's time to turn around and walk out. And we women do this already way before. We already start exiting a relationship, to be very honest, maybe 2 years in advance, trying to figure out how we do it. I have been that kind of woman, and women maybe say to ourselves, oh, how can you be so manipulative? Because we are not just doing things out of emotions. No, it's not always that way. We are quite strategic thinkers too. If you read The Art of War, I grew up with the book, The Art of War, Sun Tzu's Art of War. My father, Chinese, of course, I grew up with it. I grew up in a Confucian household, so I know exactly how to deal with strategy. So the balance. If you're a woman, sit in your power and allow yourself to sit in your power. You don't need a day to call it a Happy Woman's Day to be reminded that you're a woman and that you have the same rights like everyone else on this planet. So I know this will rock the boat for some people, but it is okay. This week, the full moon and eclipse season starting. Do not manifest anything new. Release, release, release. Anything that has held you back and you could not move forward, release it. It's time. If you feel you're scared and you need to be part of something, a community, friendships, relationships, whatever, but you know that it is not for real, release it. Listen to your intuition. If it does not feel right, release it. Okay, I wish you a beautiful week. Namaha, namaste.